Coming up on CityView, winter prep, what local power plants are doing to prepare for the cold weather, deck safety, what you need to look for when building or inspecting a deck, and the Zilker Tree, a favorite Austin holiday attraction, is back for the 46th consecutive year. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. Those stories and more, but first our top story. A former Austin Water Utility employee has been inducted into the City of Austin Public Service Employee Memorial. Timothy J. Louviere died in an accident earlier this year while performing work duties. A special ceremony was held during the November 1st Austin City Council meeting to honor him for his life and service to the City of Austin. Mayor Lee Leffingwell presented a Distinguished Service Award to the Louviere family, and a permanent remembrance of Louviere was unveiled for the memorial.
The city established this memorial in May 2011 to pay tribute to all employees who have lost their lives while serving with dedication for the City of Austin.
He made all of us a better public servant. I can tell you on several occasions, Tim didn't hesitate to tell me when I wasn't working hard enough. But that's what we loved about him. He aspired to higher heights and had us all aspire to higher heights. Our customers were better off of it. Our community was better off for that.
It features intricate wood carvings of nearly 50 fallen city employees and includes an interactive kiosk with biographies and photographs of each employee. Austin City Council members Mike Martinez and Kathy Tovo recently joined Foundation Communities and other partners to dedicate another supportive housing community in Austin. The Arbor Terrace, which was once a suburban lodge hotel near downtown, offers 120 efficiency apartments for single adults making less than $27,000 a year. Another 25 units have been designated as permanent supportive housing units and are designed to help the homeless population transition back into home ownership. In addition to housing, the Arbor Terrace provides on-site support services to assist with employment and health care, among other needs.
What we tried to do here is take out a lot of hotel rooms. So we went from 133 hotel rooms to 120 apartments and added back in a computer lab, a fitness center, social work offices, a kitchen, and TV lounge. We also took out half the parking lot and made that into a really beautifully landscaped courtyard so people have places to go outside to sit and relax.
This housing project contributes to the Austin City Council's goal of providing 350 permanent supportive housing units throughout the community in the near term. The City of Austin contributed $2 million for the construction of Arbor Terrace, some of which came from housing bonds. For more information, visit austintexas.gov/housing. Well, even though we're still seeing temperatures hovering in the 70s, Austin Energy power plants are busy gearing up for winter weather. Insulation has been inspected and replaced or added where needed at Sandhill Energy Center to protect various pipelines from freezing when temperatures drop near or below freezing. The work is part of an overall winter preparedness plan to protect the plant against extreme weather events. If you'll recall, in February 2011, Austin was forced to join the rest of the state in rolling blackouts when more than 80 generating units either could not start or could not operate at capacity due to the prolonged freezing temperatures.
From the past history and from all the regulations that are in place, we will be ready by December 1st to handle any anticipated cold weather situations.
Plant personnel are also inspecting instrumentation equipment, which runs the risk of freezing during extended cold weather events. Portable heaters are used to protect this type of equipment. Since 2007, deck failures have resulted in more than 600 reported injuries and 4 deaths across the United States. In Austin, 2 deck failures last year resulted in 33 injuries. To provide education and assist deck owners, the city's Planning and Development Review and Code Compliance departments teamed up with a supplier of structural building products for a demo on how to tell a good deck from one with potential problems.
Decks are not just simple structures. They may seem that way, but they're not. They need to be designed, built, and maintained properly. These two decks behind me, they're both fairly similar, right? They're both about 8 feet wide, 6 feet deep, about 7 feet off the ground. That's kind of where the similarities end. One of these decks right here, you can see, let's just say it has a few issues, while the other one is code compliant and safe. First thing to look for is going to be loose connections. Decks are going to go through different weather, right? The seasons change, it gets rainy. Up north they get snow. So deck boards are going to get wet and then they're going to dry out and shrink and the connections are going to become loose. So what you need to do is just check for these loose connections and make sure that you tighten them all up. The next warning sign to look for is going to be missing connections. If I were to go under this deck, I would see that there's no hardware. This joist is just basically what's called toe-nailed, where the nail is taken and driven at an angle into your ledger board. That's not going to be good enough. That can weaken, that can corrode really easily, and you may not be able to see it. So you want to take a joist hanger and install that. The nice thing about finding missing connections, many of these connections are retrofittable. So if you've bought a house and you see that it's missing these things, go ahead and buy a few of these and install them for your safety. Next topic to talk about, corrosion. Here's a carriage bolt. This carriage bolt is covered with red rust. If you see red rust, it's time to consult a professional to find out whether you need to replace that fastener or connector. The best way to combat against rust is to have fasteners and connectors that have the proper corrosion coating on them. What do I mean by that? Well, using connectors and fasteners that have a Z-Max or a hot dip galvanized or a stainless steel coating will help protect against corrosion. All right, last two warning signs you really need to be looking for are going to be for the lumber itself. As wood ages, it has a tendency to rot due to moisture. And to check for rotted lumber, there's a very technical way to do it. You take what's called a screwdriver. You jam it into the lumber. If you can move it around and it feels soft, yeah, it's probably rotted. That means it's time to replace. The next thing to look for is going to be splits in your lumber. Well, fortunately, we have a split right here we can show you. What's happening there is that split has formed. That means the load capacity of that lumber has dropped dramatically. It's time to replace that piece of lumber as well. If you haven't inspected your deck to make sure that it's safe and just assume it is, that deck could come crashing down, injuring, maybe even killing somebody.
The city's Building Inspection Division inspects decks with active permits. If you suspect yours may need an inspection, visit the link on your screen for a list of third-party inspectors. Eliza Spring, one of 4 springs in Zilker Park, is home to the largest known surface population of Barton Springs salamanders. During the 1930s, the stream flowing from Eliza Spring into Barton Springs Pool was enclosed in a pipe and buried underground, removing the habitat of the stream for the salamanders. Now, decades later, Watershed Protection and Parks and Recreation are working to recreate the stream and reconstruct the lost salamander habitat.
What we're hoping to do at Eliza Spring is to reconstruct salamander habitat that was lost when the stream flowing from Eliza Spring was buried underground in a pipe. This is important because Eliza Spring is home to the Barton Springs salamander. It's an endangered species. And in creating this daylighted stream, we're going to create more habitat for the salamanders, and we're also going to be able to have more flexibility in what we do at restoration efforts in this spring.
It probably has some vertical because it's so deep.
The Eliza Stream Daylighting Project is in the pre-design phase, and so what we're looking for from the public is concerns that they have about this project and also ideas that they have that we may be able to incorporate into the project as we move into the design phase, which isn't supposed to begin until spring of 2013.
The formal design phase is expected to begin in spring 2013. Funding for the project comes from the Austin Watershed Department's drainage utility fees. To learn more, visit the Splash exhibit at Barton Springs Pool. Finally, an Austin holiday tradition has returned for the 46th consecutive year. On November 2nd, Austin Energy crews installed the 155-foot Zilker Tree, and Channel 6 was there for the installation.
I start first, it goes pretty quick.
Scott Copeland has been installing the yellow bulbs for Austin Zilker Tree for the past 5 years.
One of my main reasons I keep doing it is the joy I get when my little girls tell everybody that their dad's the yellow bulb man.
Scott is one of 24 Austin Energy employees
You're going to put a green in right now.
who participate annually to bring this holiday tradition tree to life. This year marks the 46th consecutive year the tree has gone up. Once all of the streamers are laid out in a wagon wheel formation, the real work begins.
My job is to go through and count each streamer, strategically place the yellow bulb in the correct location, which in turn makes the yellow swirl once the Zilker tree is lit up.
The yellow bulbs are installed in stair-step fashion to produce the swirl. They are among the more than 3,000 colored bulbs that are alternated through each of the 39 streamers. It takes Austin Energy at least 3 hours to screw in all the bulbs and testing them before raising the streamers to the top of the Moonlight Tower. And while this work is taking place, others are hoisting the star to the top of the Zilker tree. The Zilker tree star may not look so big when mounted 155 feet in the air, but it's actually 10 feet tall and takes as many as 5 crewmen to install it. Several hours in, crews are now ready to mount the streamers. This requires the use of a 75-ton bucket truck that can reach 170 feet into the sky.
The streamers are actually hoisted through a pulley system.
This is compared to the late 60s and 70s when crews had to climb to the top of the tower to get the same job done.
Got it?
But it's never been about how easy or difficult the job is, because each year the anticipation builds, and Austin Energy crews take pride in knowing they are giving the Austin community a great holiday gift.
It just seems like it never goes away, and kids they never get tired of it. And usually you see their parents having to drag them away to get them to go home from it, because I think they all just get a big kick out of it.
This year's tree will be even more memorable because the popular Trail of Lights is returning after a 2-year absence. The Zilker tree will be lit the first Sunday in December and will be lit every night through the end of the year. That's all for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. Our next episode premieres Friday, December 7th. Thanks for watching.